Alright everyone, let's turn this thing into this thing. Are you ready? Let's do it. Alright guys, so this is just going to be a simple build. It's meant more for beginners. We're going to use minimal products and it's just going to be a simple weekend build. So I'm just going to quickly go over or show you the bags containing the parts, showing that there's not too much in here to deal with. And yeah, so let's get the show on the road here. I'm just going to start with the body first, like I do with most of my models. And if you're new to this kind of stuff, just check out the instructions, go through them, familiarize yourself with the parts. Alright, make sure you know what you want to paint the body color. And I just use some Mr. Cement, plastic cement. It's your typical glue. And if anything requires sanding, use your typical sander. Here you see I'm just wiping down the model, some isopropyl alcohol, and I do that before I paint it because I'm just going to paint directly onto the plastic. And I chose Rust-Oleum, and what I do here is, because spray cans travel at a high velocity, you want to keep the can moving quick and do very light coats. It's crucial to do light coats. What I do is a couple light coats to get the paint sticking onto the vehicle, and then the third final coat, or fourth and final coat, I do a little bit wet and heavier, and I coat the model evenly, and I try not to spray directly on the model. I go back and forth over it, as you see. For other pieces, I just use other colors of cans I had lying around. There's no particular set order of colors with this model, so here I just use a Tamiya tan color. And I used 4 basic colors, and then the orange I had to use an airbrush. But back to these colors, this is a primer, it's just gray primer. And this is for the chassis, it's the other side. I gray primered it, then I masked it. Once everything was masked to how I wanted it, I painted the metal parts. Metal, I just used aluminum from Tamiya, and the interior I masked and painted the remainder tan, which would match the rest of the interior. It's crucial to try to mask everything properly, that way you can just stick to spray cans. At one point I did have to use a brush, but for the general painting of the vehicle I just use spray cans, just to keep it simple. And when gluing it, I used either Acrylic or CA, or plastic cement, or canopy glue. Those are the 3 glues I used. And this is just an applicator I made with a brass rod on the end. Right, so I just want to show you guys, it's a pretty simple kit. You don't really need instructions for it, but it's to go with my golf series also. So I'm going to go over some of the assembly here, and then I'm going to go back to how I painted the orange stripe. And as I mentioned earlier, the orange stripe I had to use an airbrush because of the particular color I had to choose. And any other color, it just wouldn't go good with the blue and this golf scheme that I'm trying to keep with. So I hope you forgive me for that part, but if you want to choose any other color out of the spray can, no problem. Generally, most of the pieces fit together pretty well. I used clamps to help secure everything while they cured and dried. And then for any gaps, I filled with some acrylic putty, and this is from Vallejo. So you'll see me start applying it here shortly. And because it's acrylic, you can use a Q-tip to manipulate it with water and kind of fill the gaps, and so just alleviate some of the sanding in the future. And basically what you're doing is just filling only the gap. I find this stuff pretty useful. It's easy to clean up and easy to use. Again, that's because it's acrylic water based. I think this is the only part of the whole model I really had to putty. Everything else came pretty decent. I mean, it's not a show model. It wasn't meant to be sent in to get judged or anything. It's just to show beginners how easy you could just build a model using some basic colors and basic techniques. So I always suggest to test fit everything first. Some more experienced modelers would know that, but beginners should know that, yeah, you should test fit what you're gonna do. And here's the part where I had to use a paintbrush, unfortunately. I tried to do this model with no paintbrushes and no airbrush. Alright, so for the masking here on this particular model, what I did is I found my center line, and that's what I'm doing here, is I just use this piece of tape for guidance. And then this is where I started using my actual 1/8 inch tape, and this is to get the width on the orange that I will be applying. Alright, so take your time doing this, and if you guys have any further questions about masking and how to paint some pretty good masking lines, I'm going to put up a link right now, and it should appear in the top right. Again, you don't have to follow this particular paint scheme. You can go with any other colors or roots. You can just go one solid color. You don't have to do any stripes, but I just want to show beginners that it's not that hard. All you have to do is try it. Try it and see how easy it is. And if you don't want to do it on your model, just try on some pieces of plastic or something first. So yeah, this is the part where I had to use orange. Again, I deeply apologize. I really tried not using an airbrush or paintbrush in this model. But you could use any other color. Or if you find an orange, let me know. But I can't find one in a spray that gives off that type of hue unless you start getting into fluorescence, and I didn't want to do a fluorescent orange on this model. Fluorescents aren't the easiest, and they're a little bit thicker because of the type of pigment they need to glow. And here I start unmasking. Take your time unmasking, and I usually, the type of paint I used was an acrylic, so I could unmask it quicker. But even if it was an enamel paint you're using, you want to still unmask it within the first, start unmasking within 10-20 minutes, and that's even pushing it. Always peel towards the paint, never away from it. Okay. And then here at the end, what I did is I just sprayed some of the color I used in a cup, as you see. And then the end lines, I didn't like how they were just flat, so I curved them. And then anywhere else, I just used it as a touch-up. And you could do that too. At this point, I actually clear coated the model. I didn't film it, but it's just 3 or 4 light coats of gloss clear from Rust-Oleum. And that's just to protect the paint and to protect the striping we did. Right, and here's the canopy glue I was talking about. This is meant for clear parts, but I use it here and there. It's still strong glue. It's very similar to white glue, which you could also use. But for clear parts and anything to do with lights or taillights, I like to use canopy glue. It doesn't leave a crazy residue. The final assembly of this model is pretty straightforward, as you can see. A lot of it just snaps together. I mean, you do need glue. It's not a snap tight kit where glue is not required. This is at, I don't even know what level of a model this is, but as you can see, you don't need any crazy tools or procedures. It's a very straightforward model to build. And that's what I'm showing here, that if you're a mom or dad and you want to get your kid into modeling, get a cheap model like this. I actually got this one for about $15. It was on sale from $50. And when I initially saw it, I saw the brown color and I thought, you know, I'll never paint it that brown color with all those water stickers that are on it, no way. And then I started this golf project, and why not paint it the golf colors? So I use the same color orange. It's a CN orange red from Railroad Painting, and I use it for the backgrounds for the turn signals and taillights. And then I put in the clear parts afterwards. The final decals on the back, I just did the Hummer and the license plates. I didn't want to put on all the wild decals. They just look too crazy. Alright folks, so here it is. Hopefully I gave you some inspiration to build something simple and easy, just to you know, do something different. This isn't the typical model that I like to build, but like I said, it's something different, and it goes along with my challenge, so it's slightly acceptable. I put the interior decals in there too. So yeah, there it is. Well, thank you for watching the video to this point. If you like or enjoyed what you saw, or even learned something, please hit the like button. I strive for semi-informative and decent content, so if you want to be informed about future videos or content of your interest, subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button too. If you have any suggestions or thoughts, don't hesitate to leave a comment down below. I do also have an Instagram account which allows you to see projects and final reveals well before the YouTube video is released, so follow me there too. It's under the same name, Scirocco. I do have a Patreon account, so if you'd like to donate and help me grow in the hobby world with crazier future projects, railroad expansion, and exclusive content only for members of Patreon, I'll provide a link in the description below. As always folks, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.